Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the I Am Her podcast. I hope you all have enjoyed this drama-filled past life of mine that I have to share. But enough of that. Let's just go ahead and jump right into things. As you know, I left off in the last episode. I was telling you guys how I eventually got cleaned everything back up. I'm sorry. And I was single again, looking to have a fresh start, keep moving, pushing forward with my life. I think I was single for maybe a year after that mess of a love triangle I had. I met this guy over Snapchat that one of my good friends introduced me to, pretty much. And we started conversing on there, and then eventually we exchanged numbers. I thought I was just going to go into this and take it one day at a time, and like when we finally met face to face and we talked, we found out that we had a lot in common, and we also had mutual friends. So you could probably just imagine how that went. It felt new. It felt good. It felt refreshing. I wanted to take things really slow, but in 3 months, things started to move quite swiftly. We got pretty close rather quick, let me tell you. So we started hanging out almost every single night after work. That was my first mistake. And eventually, of course, one thing leads to another in certain situations like that. So that's just how we started off. Then we started hanging out a little bit more on the weekends, in the daytime, kicking it, watching football, just trash talking each other. It just felt really good. It felt really good. I felt like I had found a really good friend. So I started catching feelings. I can't quite remember if he caught them as well right when I did, but I did. And I thought I would just let him know by showing him instead of really using my words, because I was an aggressive person, but I'm also like really, really shy. So I started doing things that, most men would like. Like, this could be my woman. I felt like that's the kind of relationship we were trying to build, because we were hanging out so much together, and we just really just got along. Like we hit it off really good, really fast. So things kept going on and on. He would bring me lunch, I bring him lunch, stuff like that. So one night he's like, I'm going to go play the games with some of my friends. I'll hit you up when I'm done. So I'm up all night just waiting to hear from him, because I always wanted to hear something from him before I went to sleep. Like, let's just talk. So my mind started racing. I felt like I was getting into that dark hole of mine again. And instead of me just like, Ashley, just let it go. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Just lay down and go to sleep. It's okay. You'll talk to him tomorrow. However, I did not do that. I want to say I saw one of my homegirls driving down the highway, because where I live, I could kind of see the highway from my house. So I was like, hey, was that you that just passed my house? And she said, yeah. I said, well, come back. Sit right here for me real quick. I have to go do something. Now, what I was going to do was really, really dumb on my behalf. I know that now. But somehow we were sharing locations. I forgot how that came about. But we were sharing locations with each other. So I knew exactly where he was. So I drove maybe 10 minutes to the location. And I saw his car out there, but no other car. And it was really, really dark. I said, now, I know a bunch of guys cannot be out here playing a video game, and his car is the only car out here, and it's pitch black dark, like no porch light, doesn't look like any lights are on inside. So I leave and I text him and I'm like, I know where you are. I wish you'd just pick up the phone and just let me know what is what. And he was like, well, if you know where I am, pull up then, pull up then. So me, being a little badass, I whipped my car around. I said, okay, I'm outside. He's like, haha, yeah, right. So I got out my car and I proceeds to walk up to the door. I rang the doorbell. Girl walks up. She's like, yes. And I stated his name and she was like, no. I said, yes, his car is right here. Tell him I'm outside and he needs to get out here now. Okay, sounded like somebody's mother. So he eventually comes outside and I said, so why did you lie to me? And he didn't acknowledge me. He just walked past me and I'm like, come on now, dude. I know you see my big ass standing up here. So I reacted in that very moment very aggressively. I punched him in the face. We started wrestling in the yard. He slammed me. I grabbed him and pulled him down with me. He gets up faster than I do. He runs to the car, but I catch him right before he closes the car door. And it's like, I'm just wailing on him, just going in. And it's like, I finally get tired. I let go. I go and ring the girl's doorbell again just to apologize to her. Why? I don't know. But she never came back to the door. So I get in the car and I leave. I come home and I sit down and I tell my friend what just happened. And she was like, Ashley, for real? She was thinking that I really had something else going on, that, I was just going out for a little drive or something to clear my head. So I tell her and she was like, oh my goodness, no, girl, you cannot do this. You're supposed to be helping me get out of that stage. What happened? So we talked about that. And I want to say a couple of days went by. I did not speak to him. I did not see him. And me and my sister decided to go and hang out one Saturday. We went out to eat and we were just chilling and talking. And she was like, yeah, you're better than that. You don't need that. I told her about it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But deep down, I'm like, but I miss his company. So yes, he did end up hitting me back up and he was just like, I'm sorry. I should have been upfront with you. I should have been honest. I should have told you this. I should have told you that. I ignored it for about a good week or so. He was texting me in the mornings. He was like, good morning, beautiful. How are you? I hope you have a great day. He would text me at night. Good night. I hope you sleep well and all this. And I was doing my best not to respond. Then one day I'm at work. We're really, really busy. So I'm not paying attention to what's coming through the door. And then someone calls my name. And I turn around. I was like, yes. And here's a big bouquet of flowers, like real flowers in an actual flower pot. And I'm like, I don't have a green thumb. And who would these come from? They're like, well, it says it's for you. I was like, for me? Yeah. I said, no, nobody's going to send me flowers. So I brushed it off. I was like, y'all just playing with me. Y'all fixing to quit playing with me. So I come back inside the building and they're like, no, Ashley, these are really for you. So I read the card and the nickname he gave me was Big Mama. No, I'm not fat, but I'm pretty tall and I was taller than he was. So he was like, the letter said, I'm truly sorry, Big Mama. Will you please forgive me? So I sat on that for a little while. I remember calling my best friend, telling her about it. And I'm just like, maybe I should give him another chance. Maybe he really is sorry. So we talked about it. I went to go see him a couple nights after that. And we mostly saw each other at nights only because of our work schedules. He was always on second shift. So he worked late at night until about 11 or 12. So that's why that was not it just really wasn't a big deal. But we talked. We got everything out, put everything out on the table. We let each other know how we felt. And, we were on the same page, so I thought. And we were together all of 6 months. But that was the longest 6 months I think I ever had to go through. I eventually got back into drinking. Like, I was drinking every day. It wasn't a day that went by. He would be like, hey, go by the liquor store, grab us a bottle so we can, chill, talk, sip a little bit, but sipping a little bit turned into taking shots after shots after shots till I was just so drunk I probably wouldn't even remember things the next day most of the time. And it's like doing that, I was kind of blinded at what was actually going on in front of me. And of course, he came with a lot of baby mama drama. Oh my goodness. I never thought I would see the day that I would go through that, because I just try to be careful and stay away from people like that. That was the worst experience of my life. And I felt like I shouldn't be going through this because I haven't done anything to the other person. But I wasn't aware of what he was telling her to make her realize, okay, well, I'm just with her simply because I felt bad for hurting her feelings. I didn't look at it that way. I felt like he was genuinely with me just to be with me, and things were just crazy. And we went to a party in Atlanta one weekend. We had a really good time. And I hardly share my relationships on social media because I don't feel like social media damages relationships, but I do feel as though, this is my private life with someone. So I would like to keep it that way. I don't need your opinion, their opinion, your mama, your daddy's, nobody's opinion but my own of what I have going on at home. So, since we're about to reach the 6-month mark, I post his picture, how everybody does the MCM, the Man Candy Monday. I did that. And apparently, I had wanted to reach out and talk to the girl at one point, but I think I did. I can't really just recall because of everything that is happening. I've tried not to remember half of it. She blocked me, but at this particular time when I posted the picture, I think the picture was up maybe 10 minutes and she was the third comment under it. Just giving me the worst time about it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. So I got all three of us on the phone. We were talking. I was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I want to be with you. I was like, okay, then. So all of this is dead. I don't need to hear about what he's doing, what you're saying he's doing, what you think he's doing, this, and that. I tried to nip all of that in the butt. Then, fast forwarding on until Christmas, I want to say maybe 4 days before Christmas, we were in an argument. I can't remember about what, but something that happened just didn't sit right with me. And I went out with a friend that is in the military. He was in town. I told him, I said, hey, I'm shooting pool with a friend. I'll come talk to you when you get off work. So he lets me know he's headed home. I meet him there. We're talking. And yes, I have been drinking. And I get in the car and I go over there. We're talking. And I just got so tired of hearing the lies come out of his mouth that I just jumped on him and I just started punching him in the face. And, he slams me on the floor and he was like, you need to get out of my house. I'm going to call the police. And I was just refusing to leave. I said, no, you're going to talk to me. You're going to tell me the truth. You're going to let me know exactly what is going on and exactly where we stand. Like, I'm not understanding. I shouldn't be going through all of this. So he leaves, he walks out of his house and he shuts the door. And, I come out right behind him. I lock the door and I close it. I get in the car. He gets in his car. He takes off. I take off behind him. And I got so mad that I blacked out chasing behind him in the car. And also I was drunk. So getting that angry and all my anxiety kicking in, and I blacked out and I had an accident. Well, I'm not going to call it an accident. It was a wreck. Like, the paramedics and everybody said it was something that I should have never made it through. How I made it through that, they don't know. Like, they were trying to tell me that I was going to need plastic surgery and everything to heal up the patch on my forehead. And I was just like, no. I'm going to leave the scar there to remind me of where I don't need to go back again, because I don't want anything else to happen like this. And no, I did not go through with the plastic surgery to fix that. It's still there, but it's not even noticeable. You can't see it. I took really good care of it and treating it and healing it. Like, you won't know it's there until I point it out to you. But I do keep it there as a reminder. Like, these, I call them my battle scars because they remind me of a part that I never want to see again. But it's like, after all of that happened, no, I did not jump fresh out and be like, yes, I'm free, I'm good, I'm not dealing with it no more. I still wanted to deal with him because I felt like I was very much in love with this guy. I felt like this is a person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. Like, no, I wasn't done. I was willing to take whatever I needed to take to get us to grow into something better, and hopefully all that would pass over. So I went into a very, very deep, depressing stage, to the point where I just wanted to take my own life. I was just like, I wonder if I'm not here anymore. I wonder who would miss me. Would anybody even care? Like, I've tried to reach out and talk to people, and some people just think I'm overreacting. This is stupid, blah, 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 this. And I'm just like, no, y'all don't understand. And it's like, nobody wanted to hear me. Nobody wanted to really let me let things out without judging me. Because I remember I did reach out and talk to my mom. She listened, but I don't think she really understood me at that moment. Because, like, at the end of me speaking, this still rings in my head sometimes. And sometimes I really feel like it holds me back. Because she plain out said, you're weak. You're only that way because you are weak. Yes, I felt like I needed to hear those words so I can stand up and do what I needed to do to bring myself out of that. But at that time, the way I was feeling, I didn't feel like I needed to hear that. I felt like I needed her shoulder to lean on, something, someone to just really understand me so I can just let it all out. Eventually, I was just like, you know what? Ashley, the same thing that everybody has been telling you for the longest. You don't need anybody but God. Like, yes, God does put people in your life that you need to talk to and lean on in hard times. Like, he brings you people like that to, do his work for him. And I do have a really, really, really good best friend. Like, we've been friends for over 12 years. Like, she's been there with me through a lot of things. And honestly, that's who I leaned on. That's who I called and told everything. Like, she would be there for me at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm like, can I please talk to you if you're awake? She's like, yeah, just call me. And sometimes I could tell she wasn't awake, but I felt like I really needed to get some things out. And she was my go-to person, and she really helped me through this. And, I got my focus back. I pulled myself up out of that dark hole. I shut off so many people. I shut off doing so many things. I backed up from a lot because I did not want that hold on me anymore. Now I feel so free, so ready for anything that the world wants to throw at me. I'm ready to conquer. Like, I'm ready to conquer the world, honestly. Like, I feel so good right now, to where I could just probably stand up and just shout. Like, I feel so good. Like, I've come a long way from what I used to be. Like, I'm not as quick-tempered. I will say something to someone if I feel disrespected, but my temper is so much more calm now. Like, I would rather sit down and really have a conversation to someone if we're having a conflict, to see where did it all begin. How can we fix it? I still get a little irritated when nobody's understanding me when I'm talking. They're just picking and choosing what they want to hear. But I don't let my emotions get the best of me where I lash out and start punching people. So that is a really big plus. And the alcohol, as far as that goes, no, I do not get drunk all the time. I will sit down and, sip a little bit here and there. But I have control over it now. I'm not sitting there just drinking and drinking just to drink till the bottle's gone, or trying to drink problems away. Like, I don't sit there. I don't really get drunk, to be honest. Like, sometimes I be like, oh, I feel like I need to get drunk. I had a long week. I can't even do it. I'm probably asleep before I take the third sip. So, and as far as relationship goes, I'm definitely in a really good one now. And honestly, he has changed me a lot. Like, he has made me sit down and really focus. Like, I really do feel like I've reached a point in my life where I can actually step into my calling and do what needs to be done. So, I want to thank you guys for watching my first couple of episodes to like really let you guys understand who I am as a person. And, you know, good things always come out of bad. Sometimes you have to go through storms to really see your worth. And I had to do that. But this is the last episode for this segment. But it's not the end of me or this podcast. I will be taking a different route, and I hope you guys will get involved with me. I will need people that I could interview or talk with on these. I will leave my information on all my social media pages. You can add me or follow me on Facebook at audaciously_me_, and my Instagram the same, audaciously_me_. And I also have a YouTube you guys could subscribe to. That'll be another place where you could hear all of my podcasts. And that is also audaciously_Ash_, not me, but it does say Ash. And I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to ask that you please continue to tune in with me. I will be talking about a lot of different topics. And I hope you guys enjoy them. Thank you. Bye.